M0FXB, welcome back to my videos on the Icom 705 and the Yaesu FTX-1. So what's the key difference between these two? They're both effectively field units, aren't they? So this is a field unit, it's just the front head here, 10 watt radio. Same goes for the 705. It's the dual receive. Okay, you're looking here and you've got UHF on the left. On the right you've got 40 meters. They both perform extremely well. If I turn down the 705, you can see
Thank you very much. Good morning. This is Delta Lima 1, Foxtrot Charlie Lima. Yourself? Okay. You also 58, 59. Will read it with USB. My name is
you've got a front-facing speaker underneath the FTX and on the 705. I've got my hubnet node simultaneously receiving on the left. So if someone speaks, we'll get that as well. This is a C4FM YSF radio. The 705 is a D-Star DPRS. The FTX-1 has simultaneous C4FM and it has full APRS GPS. But the 705 has Wi-Fi. They both have Bluetooth, but the Bluetooth on the 705 is built in. So is the GPS. You can see we've got a lock there. Got no lock of GPS here because we don't have the module. If we go back to the single screen, menu, tap audio. I'm sure that's how you get rid of the audio scope. Nope. Let's go to scope. There you go. So that is, of course, really an Icom scope. Icom 7300, 7610, 7760. That's an Icom scope. You can manipulate all the colors and the level. You can tap the 1 reflector, and you can adjust the level of the scope how you like it, and you can increase and reduce the size of it as well. But it's single receive. We can tap the band here, and we could go to, say, again, go to my node. Lovely clear display. The display sizes look identical to me without taking a measuring tape out. To adjust the reflector gain, the waterfall reflector gain I call it, on FTX-1, hold down, tap D level, dedicated back button. The knob on this is very, very similar to the 710 with its LEDs there. Just turn this. See if we can get, I mean, it's early in the morning, it's 7 AM in the morning. Someone there.
Delta Kilowatt 7 Lima Juliet. Delta Kilowatt 7
G5RV on 1 and a 49 to 1 balun and a long wire on the other.
CQDX, Delta Kilowatt 7 Lima Japan. Delta Kilowatt 7 Lima Juliet calling DX symbol.
It is a bassier sort of speaker, I would say, on the, but you can adjust as an equalizer inside this, the FTX-1, but you've got the 3DS as well, look, which you don't get on the Icom. Again, change the level until it looks how you like it. The function buttons, you've got 3 pages of functions. Of course, you need one for all your repeaters and firmware updates. They both hold SD cards. Both really easy to update the firmware. And one key thing is the FTX-1 has simultaneous volume, RF and squelch controls on here. There you go, sounding fine. On the top we've got the GM and X button for fusion group mode, SDX amplifier, that's what I call it, but you know, Yaesu probably call it something different. PMG mode, I'll show you that when we're in that mode. Mag grouping, and then hold down for band. You've got wide and narrow shortcuts there. Hold down mode. Flipping from A and B, which you can do here and here, but you can also hold down split mode. VFO memory, and then memory to VFO. It says MT here. I've not used that. I'll just press and hold it. But I know they do have like a memory graph, which is a bit like PMG, but it shows you your memory channels. Let's put that to the A band, and then we'll press and hold the band, because you can dual receive. So, for example, VHF and UHF. Let's try the PMG needs to add some channels, so all you do is just hold and press. There's one channel. We just press it briefly, go to the B band, and hold and press. There's another channel, and let's go to just, and you saw that turning through. Come out of PMG, and let's go to the A band. We can tap the digits here, the zeros. We can actually put in another one. Hold down. We've got 3 PMGs in there now. I think you can do up to 5. So the idea is, as the activity comes in, it'll scan them automatically. And then it's like graphs, and that's pretty much how they've done this memory graph thing. I will do that in a separate video. I haven't actually done that one, but I know about it. So look, now we're a normal, like a dual band radio now. Size and weight wise and battery, we will look at that. Cool. It does feel solid and heavy. It's still the other 705. It's lighter. It's definitely lighter. Do you know, I need to get my weighing scales out. I'll see if I can find them. I did try, but it's overloaded them. With the 705, you do have, is that quite a few buttons, but not along the top. So this becomes RF gain, volume and squelch as well. You can actually tap different windows here. The other main one that we're using is here, look. You've got your multi-functions here. You've got monitor mode, which is an interesting one when you're using DR mode. So hold down here. We're in DR mode, and we can use our D-Star repeaters, D-Star gateways, etc. You can use what they call monitor mode. It actually means you can dual receive. See that repeater monitor, and it needs to have the Wi-Fi. And yeah, crucially, we don't have Wi-Fi on the FTX-1. You can actually set one of the buttons on here to be a PTT as well, which is quite cool. And the Wi-Fi does open up quite a few different experiments and connections that you could do with software for ham radio. Quick memory entry here. And you've got, let's go down here, RITXFC, memory pad and scan. But you have a lot, when you go deeper in, you've got the obvious ones, functions. Like so, depending on what mode you're in as well. We come out of DR mode. If You go to, say, 2 meters, and you go into function now. You can start setting your tone and repeater shifts. That's, you can add a preamp there as well. Tap memo there, and we're into VFO mode, A and B, and you can scan, and you can do almost like a dual watch, and it will scan 2 channels at the same time. So it's nearly like a dual bander, but it's not an actual dual bander. This will simultaneously receive HF on one side, C4 FM, VHF, UHF, FM analog at the same time, and it does sound good. And you can choose between the main and sub button here. That's choosing between the scope just showing, say, 145 600 there, or 70 sems. If we just go to the sub and hold down the band, and we're going to hit back to 40. They both turn on quite quickly. If I turn this one off, where the 710 is actually quite slow turning on. We will show the batteries in a minute. And I haven't tried, but I'm sure you could add a boot up picture to the FTX-1 as well. There you go, and displaying the time here, battery. We're seeing the battery. I haven't seen the time yet, but I haven't really looked for it. But I'm sure it does show or you can enter the time in there. Fine and fast back button here, and then VFO. And look at this one's cool. Display button here. Let's get that a bit closer so you can see. It's quite hard to film these. So look, you've got them on top of each other. Single mode, and then we can flick between. There you go. So single screen. Amplifiers are there, DNF, filters, DNR, attenuation, AGC, tap for your shift width notch contour. We saw that earlier. So which one do you prefer? We'll turn them around in a minute. So the menus go deeper in here. You've got your SWR graph that I know people love. I like it. You've got your meters. That's great for WSJTX. Record and send, transmit CW, big memory features, scope features. Of course, you can just tap around and change where you are on both radios. You can do that. Center fix. You have a sort of center fix here as well. Cursor fix. They both have Bluetooth, but you just need the module. The module on the FTX goes on the side. I'm going to show you when we start going from the rear. But they're both, you know, the VFO knobs are lovely on both radios, I feel. Slightly bigger on the FTX-1. And sub-dial, I'm just trying to see if I've missed anything that's obvious. The meters, just tap them, look, and you get all the different meter displays. I think that's pretty much the same on both. It is. Filters here. You saw the filters on the FTX. You've got the auto tune. I think that's like zeroing in on CW. This radio does speak to you. I haven't looked into it's speaking now. I haven't looked into speech processor on the FTX-1. It probably, you know, I need to look it up because we've got it on all the other Yaesu radios I've got. So I'm pretty sure you could probably add a speech processor, but I don't know. Yeah, that's another interesting one. So let's start to turn these round. So the crucial thing about the FTX-1 is it's the field unit which connects to the Optima, which gives you 100 watts on HF, 50 watts on VHF, UHF. Now, if you look at my 705, I've got this case here, POV case, excellent, love it. And I'm sure that they will make one, because it screws on the bottom to the sort of camera mount, and you've got a camera mount on both radios. So this POV could very easily be made for the FTX-1 as well. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots of versions. The battery, I think 6,000 milliamp hour, which has USB-C charging here. Also, you have a DC input which gives you 10 watts. On the battery, it's said that you will only get 6 watts transmission. And so when you connect the Optima, we'll take this battery off and you'll just see how it sort of clips in. And let's turn some of this, sorry about that, I always forget to turn these volumes down when I'm waffling. So let's just take that off. You've got two BNC connectors here. Now with the Optima, the 100 watt unit, you've got cables that connect here, and then you get your SO239s. You get dual HF antenna connections, and you get your VHF, UHF. You've got our ground there, and then you've got these 3 holes for, I believe one's for the amplifier, one's for the speaker, and this is what connects you through, including this section here. So let's just take this battery off a minute. I think it's pulled towards you and it slides. Trying to do this without dropping the radio. You pull it and then you slide it, and then you end up with this nice, and it lasts for about 8 hours. It's 6,000 milliamp hours. Now it's a completely unique battery to this radio. With the 705, let's turn that one round, like so. I think it was genius the way they did it, to be honest. They decided to use the same battery that you can use with your ID 52, 50 and 51. So there you are, same battery, but and then they now release it with a larger battery, and it's just 2 clips here. And you don't have to use the battery, you can still use your DC cable. And so that was ingenious, and they invented these bigger, amazing batteries. But from behind, they are quite boring. But the Optima sort of clips into this lug here, and there's like a leg that sticks out here that covers where these cables connect, so it looks like one unit. And it brings it more similar size, slightly shallower to the 991, I would say. So it's going to come out right to where my hand is here. But you know, it is ingenious that it gives you that 100 watts. And the connections, I think it's 4 or 5 cables. I took one of the lugs off there. So that's what you're seeing from the behind. I would say it's definitely wider. Let's just try not to drop anything. Yeah, it's definitely wider. It's as wide as the 991. And as you can see, they're still both fantastic sets. You know about this, the IC905 that also has that sort of rear module in the same way that the FTX-1 has. So which one would you choose price-wise? Yeah, in the UK, 1,599 for the field unit. You couldn't, at the moment, they've reduced the price of the Icom. So I'm penciling in that Icom 705 Mark II is already in design. That is a guess. And so the price has come down on these to about £1,200. And then you think, wow, that's a lot of money for a small radio. It doesn't even do 100 watts, because these versions, as they are, don't. And yes, but the technology they have packed into these, then you've got to think about the firmware development and the software as well. The Icom software, RT system software, is excellent, and it will be for the FTX-1. So I mean, we could sit here and talk about these all days. You know, it's impossible to have a preference, in my opinion, because once you've used both radios, they are both excellent. So I can only ever say is I like them both. But if someone said to me, you have to choose one, I'm going to choose the dual bander, yeah, the FTX-1, because I've got a dual band. It's a shack in the box. I've got a dual band simultaneous radio, simultaneous receive radio, and I want that. You know, I want to know that I can listen to my local repeater and at the same time tune around HF, and if I want I can turn on my hotspot, which you've got here in the background, and I can listen to C4 FM, and if I use my open spot, well, I can cross mode. So if I can cross mode, I can do D-Star on both radios, and DMR and Fusion and more these days, isn't there? So yeah, it's a tough one, but I thought it'd be really interesting to see them together like this. Just the function menu on here. You either turn the function or you go back and forward to the different menus. That it says at 10 watts there at the moment because we've got the DC cable in. Record and play, Zin, that's zooming in on CW, I believe. And then your display settings, operation, it's just a vast. If we try and find the GPS, was it under operation? Go to the bottom. I've already tested the Bluetooth and it worked fine. Let me find where's the Bluetooth gone? There's the Bluetooth and GPS turn on. There you go. And it starts to flash at the top, but not getting a lot because I haven't got the module. And that's timed out on that screen there. So thanks for watching, and yeah, let me know what you think. Bye for now, 7-3.